Hi and welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm Tasha and today we're gonna do some more market prep. So this is gonna be pretty consistent for the next few weeks. We have a lot of markets in the summer, so hopefully you like market prep vlogs. I know they don't typically do as good as my market preps that have a market at the end of them, but I still do them anyway because I like to have a video out every week. That leads me to say that there is no market at the end of this video. It is straight just gonna be market prep for the next market, but we do have a market not this Sunday but next Sunday, and I'll put it up on the screen what the date is for that. That will be our farmers market, which is a little bit on the smaller side, and then on July 3rd we have our first Friday that we just figured out we got into yesterday. Hadn't even gotten an invoice for it yet or anything. I just looked on the website that we used to sign up for it, noticed that we had gotten in. So I'm very excited about that. It's the day before the 4th of July. So my sister, if you didn't know, she comes with me. She crochets flowers and has these cups that she puts these little designs on from another artist. And so she comes with me and sells those. And so she's going to make some like red, white, and blue flowers and bouquets and stuff like that. It's going to be really cute. Anyway, I have a couple updates for you this morning. It is Monday, June 15th. And I just wanted to start the video out because I had a little bit of time before heading to work. And so I just have like a couple small things. So as far as my plan for this week, I'm just going to try to focus on a couple different things. In the background there, I have that little sleepy dragon from Nooks Hooks, the pattern from Nooks Hooks, and I'm probably going to make one more of those. I do have the 3 chicks and I do want to make a couple more of those. I know I said something about making 10. Don't know if I'm going to be able to make 10, but I'm going to make as many as I can because I do need to at some point move on and do something different because my entire table cannot just be chicks and hats. And then probably another 1 or 2 Drift the Octo. And then I really need to work on my bird pattern because of the 4th of July. I do want to make a couple of eagles because it's patriotic. I live in the US, right? So I feel like those could be good. And at some point they will sell even if they don't sell on the 3rd. And then I do need to do loaf kitties and chickens. Now I am almost out of yarn for that. I've been using the Premier Basics Brights, Chenille Brights, something like that. And I am out of it. And so almost out of it. I've got a couple colors left, but I'm basically almost out of that. And so I did pick up some white and black burlap blanket. And so a lot of my loaf kitties and chickens are probably going to be black and white because that's just what I have. And then, yeah, so that's basically what I'm going to end up doing. So this week, I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to focus on yet. Sometimes I just let inspiration hit because that motivates me the best to get as much done. And so even though I know that sometimes I have to kind of push myself to make things, sometimes I let inspiration go. So, you know, I like to make stuff that I enjoy making because that does help me get more done. Anyway, so really quick, I got this in the mail. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to make any of these in this video because I don't have any of the beads. And I know I got a comment from one of my last videos when I mentioned that I ordered this, that they just stuffed there. So I may try that instead of putting the beads in it, and I can maybe give that a go. But as far as, you know, this is concerned, I may not be able to get any of these done, but I did get this in the mail yesterday and I was really excited about it. This is the All From Jade book for all of her little beanie baby things, and I'm really excited about it. I had the PDF for a while, but I just recently got the book because it was like one of the last days that you could buy the book with the PDF version, so I have both and I'm really excited about it. Anyway, and then I worked on last night some coasters. They're really big, but I absolutely love them. I've been so craving like doing granny squares, and so I have a blanket, like a granny square blanket on my couch right now, and I just kind of add a square or two to that when I want something mindless. But I have pivoted a little bit to doing coasters because this I can make money off of. I brought 4 coasters to one of my markets and I sold 2 of them. And so I was really excited about that, and it made me enough motivation for me to continue making some. They don't take that long. So these 2 are made out of cotton that I just found in my stash. and they turned out really good. This was made with a 5.5 millimeter hook. This was made with a 4. They're not really much different in size, but I just kind of like the stitch density in this one a little bit better, so I'm probably going to move forward with the 4. And then this one I actually made out of acrylic yarn, and so you'll have to let me know down below what your opinion is. With stuff like this, with cotton versus acrylic yarn, I just don't have that many colors in cotton yarn. I am very, very limited on the colors that I have for that. And my acrylic yarn is extensive. The amount of yarn and colors that I have for my acrylic yarn is a lot. I've been crocheting for 10 years at this point, almost 11, I think. And so I have a lot of yarn. And so I figured if I delved into making acrylic versions, I could just divide them up and I can just explain to people, because from my understanding, acrylic just doesn't hold up as well, and it kind of gets a little bit like heavy if it gets wet. So like if you put like a wet drink on top of it, cotton just does a little bit better at like keep not being as heavy and gross when something wet is on top of it. So I don't know how acrylic is, but I know that people make coasters out of acrylic. So you'll have to let me know down below if you have an opinion about that. Let me know, because I don't know if this is a good idea to offer acrylic yarn, but like I said, my yarn color collection for acrylic is so much bigger. So I've been kind of just toying with that idea of doing some acrylic ones. So I think I'm going to make just a bunch of acrylic and a bunch of cotton yarn coasters with whatever I have. So that's what I have for you. That is the update this morning. Like I said, we're just going to keep moving forward with some of my staples, the stuff that I know sells. And I'll probably throw in a few things that I haven't made yet because I want to. I made this snake. I'm going to put a picture up right here last week if you did not see that video. And so I think I'm going to try to make another one of those, but I'm going to make it solid colored this time so I don't lose track of the rows. And hopefully it turns out really cute. So I'm probably going to do that as well. As far as anything else, I'm not really sure. As a disclaimer as well, if I say that I'm going to make something in this video and I don't, I apologize. I sometimes do let inspiration hit. Also, I crochet mostly at work. I do have a full-time job, and so sometimes some weeks are better than others. Sometimes they're a lot chiller than others and I can get a lot of crocheting done, and sometimes I just can't. Last week was one of those examples. The stuff that you see in the background is basically what I got done, and that snake that I mentioned. That was it, because it was just a very busy week at work. This week I anticipate will be slower, so hopefully we get a lot more crocheting done. It also depends on my manager. She says that it's okay, but sometimes I get a little bit worried and I kind of try to watch her body language, and so sometimes that also could play a part. But as of right now, that is the plan, so we'll see what happens. I have been talking almost for 10 minutes, so I better stop before everybody drops off this video. So I will see you in the next update, whether I talk to you at my lunch break today or I talk to you tomorrow. So we'll see you then, and I'll let you know what I get done. Okay, I know I said I was going to talk to you later. It's actually just like a few minutes later. I wanted to show you when I mentioned my acrylic yarn stash. This is it. And this is actually not all of it. I literally just organized this yesterday. And this brings me to another thing about my room. So, as you can tell, my room is a little bit of a mess, and I wanted to mention this in the beginning clips, but I wanted to kind of get all of my updates out of the way first. And I also wanted to just show you what I did yesterday. I organized my yarn. I have these 2 empty containers behind me somewhere. I think I tried to move them out of the way. Oh yeah, they're over here. And so those were full of yarn and I cleaned them out. I wanted to bring attention to the room because I know it's always such a huge mess. And hopefully soon we will be cleaning this up, because this room has been a mess for a while. I have cleaned it multiple times in the 6 years I've lived in this house. But it typically always ends up becoming a catch-all for everything. And so I apologize for a mess that you see in the background if you ever see that. I don't bring attention to it because I feel like if I bring attention to it, then people will notice how bad it is. But I'm doing it now because at some point this is going to change, and I've been trying to kind of slowly clean it up, but I need more help than just me. And so I think somewhat soon one of my sisters, or both of my sisters, may come and help me clean this up. And so hopefully the background will be a little bit better. At the moment, the background just kind of sucks. I have a headless doll over there. I collect smart dolls and she has had no head for a long time and I need to put a head on her. And then I also want to put my yarn in display behind me because I have a yarn YouTube channel. Why not? So that's kind of the plan here, and I apologize for how messy it's been. So I just wanted to talk about the elephant in the room being the room itself. I will get better at that, and I do apologize about how bad it's been. But this has been a catch-all for a couple years. I worked from home for a couple years about 2.5 years ago. So many years, sorry. And so it was a little bit cleaner back then, but it's been 2.5 years now since I've started this new job. And this is just the way that it is. But I've been wanting to film in here lately, and so I really, really want to get it cleaned out. So here's my room and how messy it is. So if you've seen that, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But we will get it. We will get it fixed. We will get it figured out. But tell me I did a good job on my yarn because that'll motivate me. Anyway, there's that. I just wanted to bring attention to that. I'm so sorry. So it's Tuesday, June 16th, and I have a couple of small updates for you. I feel like this is going to be another one of those weeks that's just not going to be as productive as I would really like it to be. So I apologize, but I do have a few things to show you, good and bad things. So I went to Taco Bell yesterday, as you saw in the clips prior, and I worked on a coaster. I actually did record a clip between there and now. However, I am not going to use it because I was not in the right mindset. I had gotten a comment on a couple of videos back about something that I didn't agree with, and they had said that I was being mean in some way. I'm not going to bring attention to it. Well, I am kind of bringing attention to it, but I'm not going to talk on it very long. I just wanted to say that if something feels a little disheveled or off, that's why. I initially ranted about it and then I watched it back and I just felt like it was just not something I wanted to put on the internet. So we're gonna move past that. I'm gonna show you this again, which won't be again. I showed it to you in that clip that I ranted about, but I am in a much better mood today, and so I would rather, I know I'm human and I have those moments, but I would rather show you a better side of me than the bad side of me. So we'll start there. I made this coaster. It is such a cute little coaster. So I decided that I was gonna pull out some of my acrylic to make these. I know these are like huge. They're like ginormous, but if I did one row less, I just felt like the square would not be, like the coaster wouldn't be big enough. And so that's why I'm opting for the big one. So we'll see how they do. But I decided to pull out some of my acrylic to make these. And so I'm gonna have some cotton, some acrylic, and this one's made in acrylic. We have a market on July 3rd, and so it's right before the 4th of July. So I kind of wanted to include some red, white, and blue colored things. I think I'm gonna make another one, but it's gonna be opposite. So these rows are gonna be red and this is gonna be blue. So I'm gonna do that. Then it can be like a pair if people wanna buy it together. The other update I wanted to make, just for, just to keep consistent, I guess, I started a little Pikachu keychain in the last video, and I had mentioned that I was going to show it in this video, and so that I am consistent as possible. So this is someone that asked my sister to make this, and she realized that she couldn't make it, and so she asked me to make it. And so we have decided that we are not going to do that because this is what happens when I try to make my own pattern up. It doesn't work very well. I took an existing pattern that I already had that uses my thick chenille yarn, like the thick plush yarn, and I tried to alter it for cotton yarn and it didn't quite work. So, but I wanted to show it to you. But for transparency purposes, we will not be selling this. I'll probably keep it until I finish it or not. I don't know, but it's kind of embarrassing because I make some really cute things and this is just not it. It's not it. Obviously the yarn I used for the mouth was way too thick, and I gave up after that. I did that and I'm like, you know what? The entire thing looks awful. Like the body is just not good. It's bad. It's bad. And so I wanted to show it because it was in my thumbnail in the last video. I should show it in full. It's embarrassing, but this is the reality. I can make some really cute things, but I can also make some really ugly things. Anyway, there you go. There's the update. Don't know what I'm gonna do with him. Maybe I'll put him right here, like hanging. I don't know. That'd be kind of cute. I don't know, but this was a fail. But I wanted to show it because why not? We're human here. So what I worked on today, I still have another chicks and hats to do. In my last video I ended where I said I was going to make a Mickey Mouse one or Mickey Mouse hat one, and so I'm still working on that. It is inside. I will try to finish it today or tomorrow, sometime this week. But at a little sneak peek, I guess, because I use my hands too much, I made this today. This is a possum without a tail or ears, and I typically like to try to make 3 of these and then 3 rats. Same pattern, just solid gray and pink ears and tail for the rat. So I'm gonna try to make some of these. That's gonna be a goal, is to make 3 possums, 3 rats, because my little basket, they fit perfectly in there. Ideally I would like to make more than that so I can like refill when they sell, but as of right now the only thing I've been able to do is just to make the 3 and the 3. So we're starting that. We made 1. Today has just, this whole entire like last week and like this week has just been a little bit crazy. Work has been a little bit crazy. Last week there was just a lot of angry customers, and I can't explain that. It took a toll on me. I'm so sorry if you can hear all of the sounds. There's someone over there that turned on a lawnmower, so I apologize if you can hear that. But anyway, I don't know what it is, but just people being negative really affects me a little bit. Not that I can't get negative, don't get me wrong, but I just, other people, and like I feel like I was like yelled at multiple times, even though I like wasn't. But it's just been really tough. It's been really tough. And so unfortunately that's kind of taken a toll. Also the fact that I crochet at work and I was busy at work, but it kind of takes a toll on me mentally because it kind of just wears me out. And I do love to crochet for the like the therapy of it, I guess. But it's like this kind of stuff, while I love it, I have to follow a pattern, and so it's just not as mindless. And so that's why I've been kind of aiming more towards stuff like this, because this is very mindless. So that's the reason why I've been struggling a little bit on getting plushies done. But I'm gonna try. Today I feel a lot better, other than all these people driving me crazy with their lawnmowers. Feeling a little bit better as far as motivated to do some plushies. So I'm gonna work on this. I'm gonna finish that chick with the hat, and hopefully I'll have something to show you. It is only Tuesday, and so I do feel like we have plenty of time left. I want to make another snake that I made in the last video in this color because I have a lot of it left. I basically just broke open this skein of yarn, and so I kind of want to make a snake in just this solid color. And yeah, and I'm also working on my mint chocolate chip bunny in this color, and so that's still in there. So we will have some more to work on, but I'm gonna have to stop because someone just started mowing in front of me. So I won't I won't make you listen to that. Anyway, there's the update today. Okay, so it's Wednesday, June 17th. I apologize for the wind, and I also apologize for the sound. I probably parked in the worst spot ever. But there is a flower, like a pick your own flower thing that a local business like planted in front of their thing over here. And I really want to go pick some flowers. So I'll probably take you over there in just a couple minutes, but I wanted to give you a crochet update. So I apologize if there's any sound in the background. I'm on my lunch break at work, and I live smack dab in the middle of a small city, and there's just really no peaceful place to record. So that's just the way it is. But I have a couple updates for you. I'm gonna try to keep my hair out of my face and out of my mouth and stuff. So I mentioned, well, just a few minutes for you ago, that I started to work on these possums. They still don't have ears, but I say they because I made 3. So I usually make 3, and I've mentioned this multiple times, and then I make 3 rats, 2 gray, 1 white. It's usually how it goes. And so I've worked on the possums. So the other thing that you saw me working on last night, which I apologize again for the lighting. I need to just stop apologizing. I need to just own it. I record everything on my iPhone, and when there's bad lighting, it just looks bad. Anyway, I finished this guy, and you can kind of see it better. This is a coaster, and I gotta sew in the end still, but I've just been kind of working on coasters as I feel like it. Like I mentioned prior, I was not feeling like plushies, and so this is kind of fun just to do these every once in a while, and I still have 2 weeks before my next market, so if I just do one like every other day or something, I'll have a good amount of coasters to bring. So again, there's a sign next to me and it's windy and it keeps scaring me. This is for the 4th of July. I got it to match this one. So there are 2 big old coasters in red, white, and blue. 2 big old coasters in red, white, and blue. Anyway, so those are cute. I thought they were adorable. What do you think? I'm just gonna keep making them because they're fun and they're just another little addition, kind of use up some of my yarn. And then the last thing that I made, that I started today, I started this little snake. How cute is he? Just gonna do a solid color instead of the multicolored that I did last time. I love this snake pattern so much, but I find myself getting really irritated, and that's what happened with this one. I was dropping a stitch, and I don't really fully understand what was happening with that. So I would get to the end and I'd realize I was off a stitch. So don't know what was happening. Obviously I messed something up, but we are getting somewhere on this snake. So we're just gonna keep moving forward on this guy, and he will be done by the time I get to my first market. So that is currently where we're at. Still need to do the chick, still a work in progress with my mint bunny that I mentioned yesterday. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to get to those things in this video, but I'm going to try. We still have tomorrow and Friday, and I may wrap this video up on Friday. So we'll see, but let's go pick some flowers, and then I need to go to Walmart, which is like right across the street from me, to go grab some lunch because I am a little bit hungry. But let's go pick some flowers. Alright, so it's Friday, June 19th, and I did not talk to you yesterday. It was such a weird day again at work. Another weird week like last week. However, we didn't have as many angry customers, thank goodness, but it was just a very weird and busy week. And even though yesterday at work wasn't like busy as far as customers, I just could not bring myself to pick up my yarn. I don't know what was wrong with me. I don't know what's been wrong with me all week, but we did get a few things done. Hopefully next week we can really hit the ground running because we do have a market on next Sunday, so a week from this Sunday. But I did get something done and I wanted to show it to you. I got this little guy done, finally. My idea for this guy was, and I started him in the last video, I just didn't finish him, but I did finish him yesterday. My idea was like a Disney hat. I realized the ears on the Disney like hats and stuff, they are more round and less like flat on the bottom right there. So I'm not sure. You'll have to let me know if that like came across or not. But it also could pass as just like a little black bear, which I'm totally fine with. So we'll add him to his friends over there. Finally, we got him done. And then the other thing that I did was last night I just sat down and I worked on this coaster. And I thought it was just such a cute color combination. This is also in acrylic yarn. And so I probably need to move back over to doing some cotton ones. But this is kind of the stack of coasters that I have so far for this market. So I'll kind of just flick through them really quick. So that's the one I did yesterday. And then I worked on this one earlier this week. This was one of the red, white, and blue ones. The other red, white, and blue one. And then this cotton one. And this cotton one. So I think we have a good amount that we're going to bring to the market. So hopefully they sell okay. And if they don't, then I'll just hold on to them until they do. And that's okay with me. I'm totally fine. I was also toying with the idea of like, this is not crochet related at all, but I have a bunch of these cute beads. I just have to cut the strings off. But I was thinking about like bringing like a little basket full of beaded bracelets just to sell. Because why not? I don't know. I get a little bit weird when I start, like I have a platform to sell things. Then I'm like looking around my room like, ooh, what else could I sell? I don't know why I do that, but I don't know. I don't know if having stuff like that is going to make my table too inconsistent. I'm not sure, but I figured why not? And that also brings me to, I feel like a lot of my family now wants to put something towards the table to sell. So like I started, and then my sister, my middle sister, I have two, but my middle sister wanted to contribute something, and so she started making these cups, which I mentioned in this video already. I need another cup of hers because this is the only one I have so far, and I've just been using it every day. But she contributed her cups, and then she also started to crochet so she could contribute flowers. Now my husband wants to be a part of it, and he has been making these magnets right here, and I will put a picture up for you. And I'm gonna move out of the way too. And he and I collect Pokemon cards together, and this has just been a recent thing for me. He used to do it as a kid. I didn't, but I like to collect things now, and so we recently started after the Mega Evolutions. I don't know if you know anything about Pokemon. If you don't, this is just going to go right over your head, and that's okay. But we started collecting when Mega Evolutions started happening, and that's the more recent packs. And so I've just been addicted. And so we've bought so many Pokemon cards, and one of the things that I've noticed is we have just like a bunch of bulk. B-U-L-K, right? There's just a bunch of extras. We are collecting one of each card in each pack that they're coming out with, which is called a master set. However, we have a lot that are doubles, and so I've been trying to figure out ways to use that bulk, and this is one of the ways. We found an Etsy shop, which I will try to remember to link down below if you're interested in that, but it's an Etsy shop where they cut acrylic squares or rectangles to fit exactly the like basic Pokemon card size, because some of the art on Pokemon cards are just amazing. And so he's been working on that, and he wants to bring some of those, or he wants us to bring some of those at the table so we could make a little bit of extra money on it, and we can use up the extra bulk cards that we have, because we have a lot of them and I just hate for them to go to waste. So that's what we did as well, and they turned out so cute. We also worked on some keychains, or he worked on some keychains as well, where you cut out a circle of the art and put them on like a little keychain from the same Etsy shop. So I am really proud of him for doing that, and I think that they're so cute. They're so cute. I'm probably gonna have to pick some of my favorite art and have him make me some too. But as of right now, we made a bunch to sell, so hopefully those do good. I need to still find like a little display, a little like metal frame or something like that we can display them on at the table. So we'll see. You'll have to let me know if you think that would be good. Again, I'm a little bit worried that we might be getting away from the point, but the majority of my table is still going to be crocheted plushies. And so I'm not too worried about it. If we introduce something and it doesn't do well, we can pivot, take it off the table, just not worry about it. It's going to be one of those things where the investment is not too much, and so it's not too risky, you know, if it doesn't sell. So with these magnets, if they don't sell, we just don't do it, right? So that's a risk I'm willing to take. If I notice that we're getting too away from the point, then we can kind of reel it back in and go back to our basics and just do crochet stuff. But I don't see any problem with including things as long as it's not too far away. Like I said, for the coordinators, you don't want to change your table too much because they specifically pick people so that there isn't too many of that one kind of vendor. So if I all of a sudden switch and I half my table is now beaded bracelets. Well, that's not going to make a whole lot of sense for them, but it's not that big of a deal if I put a tiny basket of, you know, a dozen bracelets out and then don't do it again, or just continue having just a dozen. Like, that's not that big of a deal in my opinion. So, and if a coordinator comes by and says, hey, that's not in your description, don't put that out, I'd be like, okay. So it's one of those things, but I just don't think it's that big of a deal as long as the majority of my table is crochet. Anyway, I've babbled on long enough. This vlog has been so babbly, although I do appreciate the comments who say that they love to watch those, which is so good because I just sit here and talk. Anyway, there's the update for you. I am not sure what I'm gonna do for the rest of the day. I do have the day off because it is Juneteenth, and so that's one of those new-ish bank holidays that they have us take off. So we're gonna go hang out with friends here in a little bit, and then I'm going to try to crochet a little bit. So I'm gonna leave this open-ended. I'm not gonna end the video here yet. However, I'm not sure how much I'm gonna be able to get done today, so we may end it here in a couple seconds. I don't know, but you'll know that here in a little bit. But for me, I'm gonna try to crochet a little bit more because I didn't make much this week, and so I'm feeling a lot more motivated because it is dreary outside, but it's nice and cool, and so I don't know, I'm just feeling a little bit more motivated. So hopefully we can get a few more things done if I go to my mom's, and maybe I can make a few things, but I'll probably end it tomorrow, but we'll see how that goes. But anyway, there is the update. Okay, I crashed and burned a little bit. I don't know what happened to me. I just got home and I got really tired. So I wanted to give a quick update because it's like the same day. It's still Friday, but it's like 4 o'clock at this point. As you saw, I just got like a couple tiny clips. We went to the mall with some friends and we got some boba tea. I was like craving it for some reason, so I'm actually really glad that we were like kind of over on that side. So anyway, but I wanted to show you this because I got this. I got a couple things at Hobby Lobby. I got these baskets. I have a pattern for some little chicken nuggets, and that's like a fad for some reason right now. Like to crochet chicken nuggets, and I got this tiny little red basket to put them in. So all I need is that like little paper, that little like checker paper. So I may or may not use those, I don't know, but I just saw these and these were like $2 for like what, 4 of them. And so now I'm adding making chicken nuggets to my list, and then I will show you a couple more things that we got here in just a second. Okay, first off, these are the keychains I was talking about. These are Pokemon cards that we had, and my husband repurposed them to be little keychains. They actually turned out really, really cute. I love them. So we're gonna bring those to the market. Okay, and then this. So please excuse where it's hanging. This is just a painting that I hung, and I hung it on this little flower. But we got this metal thing. This is what we're gonna put on the table, and they're just magnetized on here. So like, that's the magnet, right? And yeah, so somehow we're gonna put this up on the table in order to display them. So I'll just give you a quick pass on all the ones that we did this time around. I showed you a picture too, but since we got this today, I figured I'd show you. So there we go. That is what we got at Hobby Lobby today. Also, look at this flower. My sister, I can't remember if I mentioned this, but my sister actually made this. But this was a yarn dyed from Kool-Aid that I dyed like maybe 8 years ago. I don't remember, but it's just been sitting in my stash. And so I said, hey, just let me keep one, but you can use the rest of the yarn. So now I have a little memory of when I dyed some yarn, but the yarn is being used. So I thought that was real cute. Okay, so it's Sunday, June 21st, and we need to wrap up this video. I want to try to be quick about this. I already filmed this once, but I realized that the camera was too far away and you could really hear what my daughter is watching. So hopefully you can't hear it this time. Okay, now she's in my lap, so we're holding you for now. But I just wanted to give a quick update. We didn't do much, and I apologize. I was trying to give myself as much time as possible, but it just kind of ends up working out that way. But we did get this done. This is a loaf kitty, and this is a yarn that I bought not that long ago at Walmart. It's like a Bernat baby blanket yarn, and it turned out really cute. And I like the color. It's kind of like a grayish color. It won't focus, there we go, with like brown and black in it. So I think that'll work really good for loaf kitties and chickens and whatever else I feel, because it's a Bernat blanket skein, so it's like huge. Anyway, and then I worked a little bit more on my snake, as you saw. So we didn't do much, but I do appreciate anybody who watches anyway. My life gets a little bit crazy. This is kind of like a side project for me. Sometimes weeks are just a little bit on the busy side, and unfortunately I do have to set aside my videos in order to get other things done and to take care of my little one and all of that. And so I appreciate anybody who watches despite that. I do enjoy making these videos, and so even though I have slow weeks, even if I only make a couple things, I still want to film a video, and because it's fun, I enjoy it. And also I know that the YouTube algorithm likes when you post frequently or consistently. So anyway, here I am posting consistently despite my week. So I appreciate all of you who watch. I definitely notice my regulars and comment on every one of my videos. I really, really appreciate that you watch every video I put out. It really means a lot to me because, like I said, it's really fun to do.
Mama.
Anyway, happy Father's Day. It is Sunday, so it is currently Father's Day right now. And so if you see it, happy Father's Day if you're a father or to your dads. I'm actually gonna go hang out with my dad later today. So anyway, we are done. I really need to get this video up so you guys can watch it. I really appreciate you watching. If you have up to this point, feel free to like the video if you did like it, and feel free to subscribe. Our next video is going to be a market vlog, so I'm very excited about that. It is our farmer's market, so I'm looking forward to it. This week's video hopefully is going to be a lot more productive. Let's hope. Anyway, feel free to subscribe if you haven't already, and I hope you have a really, really great weekend, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!